Hey guys, Zasavarian here. I wanted to do a several part review just to kind of share with you guys what's going on. I think I made my first video here, I want to say in 2009 or I guess it might have been 10. So it's been a really long time. I'll be very honest with you, I almost forgot that I had this channel. And even though it was a really long time ago and there's really no way to apply this in how YouTube's algorithm works these days, the very first review I did, which was how I got the name of the channel, this is a Stava M88 9mm. It got 49,000 views, and it might have just been because I was way too technical about it. So that's kind of how I work. So I wanted to start this review today just to kind of go into why I'm doing this. First of all, I wanted to do a review on this gun because after a lot of digging and searching and consideration of different guns, different manufacturers, different calibers, I have decided that this is going to be the next and primary carry gun for myself for a very long time, or at least until something just like it in the same overall size comes out. And I get very technical here on the channel, guys. That's kind of just my MO. So if you don't want anything really geeky and technical, this is probably not the video for you. If you do want something very analytical, then you've come to the right place. So anyway, I want to get started with this gun here. So first of all, let's do a safety check. All right, this is the factory 10-round mag that just has the pinky extension on it. We'll talk about that in a sec. All right, and let's go ahead and open the slide. There's nothing in here, okay? And there is nothing in the barrel as well. So we are all set there, okay? Close that. I'll leave the mag out of it for now. Now, why did I go with this gun despite the fact that I have already had problems with it right out of the box? Well, here's what happened. I bought this gun. This gun has not been to the range yet, right? This is a pre-range video because I'm going to track the progress that I make with this gun in front of all of you. Good, bad, ugly, whatever it winds up being, I want you all to see this. So when I got the gun, the factory 10-round mag which it came with, which is not this mag, this is a replacement. The factory 10-round mag, the follower, just right at the top here, it's going to be extremely hard to see this, but I'll do the best I can for you guys. So the follower here, where it protrudes out of the top, was slightly too high by maybe a couple millimeters. It wasn't much, but I put it in the gun, right? And again, we know this is empty, so I put it in the gun, and as soon as I went to close this, it jammed. It's got last round hole open. It jammed right about there. I'm like, what's wrong? So I go to pull it back, cleared a couple times, and then I heard a bad noise when it finally closed, right? So push down on here and close this. Is it doing it again? Wow, I hope you you guys are here to witness this. Look at this. The same mag. Huh. This is funny. Okay, here you guys are witnessing this firsthand. I'm not going to chop this out. I'm not going to edit this out of the video. This was the problem with the first mag. Here's a replacement mag, which I've already tested and was fine. And now I go to make this video and it's doing the same problem. The follower coming out too hard and getting caught where it won't close. There you have it. That is the issue. It's just hilarious that this is happening again on camera. Okay, now it closes. Perfect. I'm glad you guys are here to see this. This was the problem with the first mag, only the slide caught on it and tore, essentially shredded the top of the mag here. This is hilarious. I'll be calling Ruger after this video again. I'm so glad you guys are here to see this. So there you have it. The mag was too high, and I guess evidently it's a little too high now. The follower is too high in the mag, I should say, right? Slightly too high to the point where it's catching not closing. That time it did. Now, okay, see, now it's working. It's hilarious. But this problem with the first mag, see, this mag is okay. I'm looking very closely at it right now. This mag is okay. The first one, it was higher than this. It was even higher than this follower. It was a little bit further up. And when I went to close it, the piece that catches it right here, you can kind of see it right there, caught on the mag and essentially shredded the top of the follower right over here. So the follower got stuck, rendering it completely useless. Phone call to Ruger. Took like 2 weeks for it to get in. Granted, it was bisecting Thanksgiving, so I'm not going to ride them too hard for that. But mag finally comes in. This is the replacement. Hasn't had any issues, and here you guys are seeing that it just presented the same issue again, where it's not. See, now it seems to be working, and it has last round hold open, so I have to hold this down. But okay, now it's fine. Interesting. And now the follower is not as high up. So perfect that you guys are here to see this. Ruger has some type of issue with their magazines, and I'm not done. I'm going to talk about these 12 rounders in a sec here. But whoever's manufacturing these, they have a serious quality control problem with the mags. The follower here, it feels really cheap. I'm not expecting it to win any awards. It just doesn't feel like a lot of time went into this. And there's this little piece over here you can see. I feel like if I press up hard enough on the follower, I can barely get that to clear right there, right over there. And again, sorry, this guy, I'm recording this on my phone, so it's not going to be perfectly in view, but you can see that. Okay, so they have a problem with their followers. Here's a replacement that as you saw this, didn't necessarily work. Now, in reality, is it going to be a problem? I'm trying to close a slide on an empty follower, or it's my life at hand? Not under that exact circumstance, because if the follower, if this is empty, is it more important that it's holding and open than closing? Well, yeah. Did it catch on it? Did it damage the follower just now as you guys saw this in any way? No, it didn't. It's still completely slick. I'm looking at it really closely. I don't see any issues with it. Yep, I'm not seeing anything wrong over here. But if I had to guess, the width of the top of the magazine is not very well policed, or whatever's preventing the follower from going higher or lower. So there's an issue. Now let's go to these 12 rounders. These are both identical in this other issue I'm about to tell you about. But the problem with the 12 rounders is that the follower is not high enough. Okay, so for example, if I put these in, assuming we don't have any more surprises, right? That closes. But if I go to rack this back, and I'm not going to hold the slide release, okay? It's supposed to have last round hold open, and it doesn't. If I press up hard on the bottom of the mag, then it does, right? And then when I look at this closely, the follower is too far down slightly. Now let's compare it to that 10 rounder that we know is slightly too far up, and you guys being the very first ones to witness that new issue. Here's the 10 rounder over here, okay? And again, slightly too far up. You can kind of see it there. If we come over here, slightly too far down on the 12 rounder. See? You can see them right there. Maybe if I can put them line of sight directly next to each other. It's not a very good way to do it, I apologize, but you can see this is too far up. You can see the follower here is protruding slightly too far down, right? Now what's interesting is, aside from the bottom piece, these mags, right, from everything that I can tell, from all their cuts, how they're made, we have a 12 rounder obviously here, we have the 10 rounder with the pink extension, but the body of the mag is the same. So my guess is the only thing that's separating it is the spring, unless it's using the same spring and they're just compressing it more in the 12 rounder. That I don't know. But the body of the mag is the same, which means that the top of the cut here is the same. And I'm pretty damn sure they're using the exact same follower. I can't see a difference in these two followers at all. And I've looked much more closely at them under a bright light. Can't see a difference. So there's the issue that this is having. right? Now, separate to that, let's talk a little bit about the gun. And I'll go over my holster, and this is just the one that it came with, the pocket holster, which I don't plan on using, but the gun. The gun feels like a completely different story. It feels like it's extremely well made. It feels really solid. It does not feel flimsy. A lot of people say that they have a noise problem. Barely. I don't really feel that. What am I feeling? A little bit of lateral movement. Barely. I'm not going to fault it for that. Good trigger feel, good brake. So we come in, resistance. There it is, click, all right? Come in, there's a reset right there. Little resistance, little spongy right there, just a hair, and click. So it's like you have to go through a tiny amount of sponge before it happens. That doesn't bother me, guys. Honestly, that doesn't concern me. I think, and again, that's, half of me is embarrassed to say this because here's our replacement mag from Ruger having this problem. I think this gun is going to be very fun to shoot, and I think it's going to be a very practical gun to carry, especially now that we have, with the 12 rounders, 12 plus 1 rounds of 380. And before you guys say anything, if you look at FBI ballistics on 380, and if you look at some of the best elite carry rounds, concealed carry rounds out there, hollow points and all types of tricks they're doing to the head of the bullet, I do believe the correct shot placement and a 380 is still going to be pretty damn good. It might not be as good as a 9, and it's not, but 12 plus 1 on something this tiny that can be carried, I'm happy to say that this is why I made the decision to go with the LCP Max. But then there's a Max. Now, the way I look at this is sooner or later, I will get a good mag. What's funny, I plan on carrying this primarily with the 12 rounders. The way I look at it is if you're at a disadvantage with the smaller caliber, if you can carry more of it, then that at least gives you 2 more shots in the event that, I guess, the first 10, which is unrealistic, I think, but having more ammo on you just in principle, I think, is a better idea if that ammo is less effective. I would much rather carry 12 plus 1 rounds of 380 than 6 plus 1 rounds of 9mm, right? It's just double the capacity, and I look at it that way. I look at it as training and shot placement, I feel like, are more advantageous. You guys might disagree, that's fine. Actually, throw it in the comments, because there's pros and cons on both sides of those fences, having fewer rounds more powerful or more rounds less powerful. I just prefer the latter, that's just me. But to go back to the mags, these two 12 rounders are already on their way to being replaced. I bought these from a company, and I'm not getting paid or anything. I'm not, there's no sponsorship here, guys, but I'm gonna call them out because they've been fantastic. The company I bought these from is called the Mag Shack. And the reason I'm very happy with this, when I called Ruger, because these are Ruger made mags, and I said, hey, you guys just replaced this one, and they're probably gonna replace it again. The issue with these is you guys made them, but I didn't buy them from you guys. But they are Ruger mags, they're I mean, there it is right there, they're Ruger design mags. Do you guys want to try and fix these, or do you want me to take them back to where I bought them? And Ruger said, well, go back to where you bought them, it'll be faster. If they still say no, then call us back. In other words, they're preferring not to do it, but they'll do it if they have to. So, okay, fine. So I called the Mag Shack, and I was like, hey, I already destroyed the packaging. I'm sorry, it's gone. All I have are the mags. They've never been used. None of these mags have ever been loaded. But can I get them back? If not, I understand. It's my fault. I destroyed the package. The guy I spoke to at the Mag Shack, I can't remember his name, super nice. He's like, don't worry about it. Throw them in a box. If you want to throw them in a package, I'm going to send new mags to you now, and then just put these in the package the new mags come in. Here's a return label. It's in your inbox. Just print that out, slap it on the side of a box, and shoot those back. So the two new mags, the two new replacement 12-round magazines, which hopefully have followers that are not too far down, are already on their way. Now, in principle, and I'm making excuses for a bad mag design here, so that's completely fair if you want to call me out on that. In principle, I'm only probably going to carry one mag on me. So last round hold open is really not that important, is it? Well, it's still good to know when you're out in a panic, and there's no way in hell you're probably going to be counting every round that you pop off if you were ever in such a situation to dump an entire mag. At the end of the day, the principle is it should work, right? I shouldn't have to make excuses why, oh, well, yeah, this mag doesn't work, but that's okay. Or, oh, well, yeah, well, this follower isn't really good, but I'd be out at that point anyway, so what is that? I shouldn't have to make those excuses, right? So before going to the range, and again, I am not in a position of firing this gun to say this, but my speculation is that the gun, I think, overall is a good design, despite the quality control issues. Those are the hopes. The mags, I don't know about the design, but the quality control on these mags is problematic. And through reductive reasoning, it's, well, once, when and if I find a mag that's, oh, hey, there's consistency in the way the follower maxes out, that's a good mag, okay, cool, now we're in business, then maybe that's the end of the problems. It's just really annoying having to constantly go around the block with these magazines. Now, I told Ruger, obviously a little bit less than pleased, as you can imagine, I was like, hey, I'm not buying this thing to put 100 rounds through, 150 rounds through, and then slap it on my waist, and that's my carry piece, or maybe I'll do another 100 rounds every month and just to see what it does. Now, I told them that I'm going to put more rounds through this pistol, probably in the course of a year, than any other combination of any pistol I've ever owned. So all the rounds cumulatively I've dumped through a handgun, I'm going to put more rounds through this one gun than all of those combined. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want this heavily stress tested. I want to know that I'm very, very good with this, right? So a lot of training with this. I want to know that I've gotten so comfortable and so automatic with using it that it's going to take that many rounds to do it. And I told Ruger, I said, your mags are already a problem. And I said, how do I know that if I dump 4,000 or 5,000 rounds for this thing and it fails, what do I do then? And Ruger said, and I quote this, I'll try and remember this verbatim, but I'm not paraphrasing this. The woman I spoke to at Ruger said, she knew where I was going, and she kind of cut me off, and she said, you put as many rounds through it as you want, and if it breaks, we will take care of you. We will get you a new gun if it breaks. I swear she said that to me. And she said, we stand behind our product. She said, take it to the range, beat it up, fire it, put as much through it as you want, right? Like beat the crap out of it, essentially. And if anything happens, call us. Okay, cool. So again, looking at this, field stripping it several times, really taking a good look at it, it seems like the gun is made pretty damn well. Obviously, there's going to be a horror story or two out there, and as many of these things as they've made, maybe every single thing isn't going to be perfect. Again, quality control issues are something that seems to be plaguing Ruger. I feel like I'm going to know within a few hundred rounds whether or not I got a good gun. I don't feel like this thing's going to fail horribly at 2,000 rounds if it doesn't within the first 200 or 300 or somewhere around there, right? That just makes sense, I feel like. But I feel like the gun is good. I feel like the design of the mags, right? The specs of the design of the mag, specifically the very top of the mag and the overall design of the follower, I feel like the follower design has a problem. But time will tell and rounds will tell. If I get one that it's like, last round hold open isn't completely perfect across the board, or some of you might say, dude, you just need to break this thing in. Like, how are you in a position to blame the gun when you haven't even fired it? And that's completely fair, right? That's absolutely completely fair. But I'm going to take you guys along for this journey. I know this is really long-winded, but I'm going to take you guys along, and you guys are going to see all of this. And like I said, if it's not good, you're going to see it. If it's good, you're going to see it. We're going to see how this does. This isn't going to be a one review and then oh well, that's it. Now I want you guys to go through the whole journey with me on this and see that this is a good gun. I selected this gun primarily for its size. I'm not a very big guy. A 9mm on my hip is doable, but pretty uncomfortable. And the way I look at it, guys, is yeah, I would carry one, but if I think it's going to be uncomfortable enough to where I make excuses to leave it home, then I've already defeated the purpose of carrying, right? So I know I'm going to carry this. I have an LCP 1, which I think I did a review of on this channel a while ago, and carrying that has been fine. And this really is not that much bigger. It's just a hair thicker, barely an inch thick, but it's so small, and it seems like it's going to be something that's very doable to shoot. I like the fact that it comes with a front, you see the glow there, there you can see it, tritium sight. Nothing on the back here. I don't really see how this block back here is going to do anything at night when all I can see is that. All right, like pitch black darkness, right? I mean, I can't really simulate this on a camera, but maybe a little bit right there. How am I going to see these at night? So I never really understood why they did that, but nonetheless, you know, it doesn't have to be. I mean, if I line this up at night, if I see that, okay, it's gone, okay, there it is, and I can kind of make, excuse me, I can kind of make out that sight picture, and you know, it's not a long range weapon, so there's that. Now, side note, I'm just going to talk about this real quick. The holster. I'm the kind of guy who believes that I'm not going to say every holster from every brand is a dime a dozen and they're all the same copy, but they're so similar. Anything Kydex is going to have a nice click and retention. I don't see what massively separates them from a cheaper one. But in terms of a dedicated holster that's made for the LCP Max, not the LCP2. A lot of people will say a holster for an LCP2 will work for a Max. That might be true, but there is a size difference between them. And I'd rather something that's built from inception to be designed for this gun than something that's built for one almost identical to it, but still dimensionally different and work really well, but not perfectly. This one was designed for the Max, so I bought this. This is from Concealment Express. It was around 40 bucks. And then I bought these. I think these were $10. I'm pretty sure I bought these from Concealment Express as well. But these are the dual clipped. It came with the big plastic one that's kind of bowed in the center. I like these because they have these tangs on them and they feel really well made. And I've already worn this around the house on a 1.5 inch thick gun belt that I have. It's just one of those typical leather 1.5 inch thick gun belts that comes with, you know, the crappy buckle, and then you put a nicer one on. It's that type of belt. I feel like they're all the same design. I had that on with this. And just so you guys know, I carry it about 430. I'm not an appendix guy. I have nothing against anyone who does. Just 430 is more comfortable for me personally. But this seems to work really well in this holster. I mean, if you guys want to see fit. And I have retention pretty strong on this, right? It's not, I actually had it dialed further in and I said, okay, this is ridiculously strong, but there's a good click there, but pulling this out, I got to put my thumb on this to release it. It's pretty strong. I mean, here. Okay, it's not coming out unless I pull it out. That's exactly how I'd like that to be. This is just the loader that it came with. I just included this here. I actually have the box over here that it came in. But anyway, we'll see what happens. Like I said, I only bought two 12 rounders, just so you guys know, for fast reloads at the range. I only plan on carrying one on me. And it was a pretty good price. I think the equivalent price per unit was like $22 or $25. This is under 50 bucks for these two. But yeah, so that's the game plan, guys. The game plan is this is going to be the one and only. I'm not happy that I have problems out of the box. I think with tax, this thing was 414 bucks. I bought it at the Nation's Gun Show, which is in Chantilly, Virginia. They do it every other month there. Huge gun show at the Chantilly Expo Center, I believe. But we'll see what happens with the mags. The new replacement 12 rounder should be here any day now, because I'm making this video about a week after I spoke to the guy. So I'm looking to see what happens with these. But I mean, it's funny, you guys are here to see this issue right here. If I push the follower down, see how it pops up like that? And here it is. Look, I can even push it. See? There we go. There's a problem. See that right there? I shouldn't be able to do that with my hand. I don't care if this thing's made out of plastic and flimsy and, oh, that probably won't happen. To me, that's a problem. So guys, I'm going to replace this. It's funny, here I am making the video thinking I finally got a good follower. I racked this thing plenty of times with this magazine in it. Maybe 50 times, 30, 40 times, a lot, right? Before this video was made over the past few days, and all of a sudden it fails on camera with you guys here to see it. So I'm glad you're here to witness that. But anyway, I know my videos are long. They're going to be long, guys. Sorry, like I said, I'm long-winded and I'm technical. But yeah, I'll take you guys along. And if you have any questions, just throw them in the comments. I'll try and keep an eye on everything. But thanks again for watching. And yeah, I'll have another one with an update as soon as I get it. Take care.